Well, Al Ahly and Porto played an 8-goal thriller. The match finished 4-4, and Al Ahly have been duly knocked out of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, the second African club to be knocked out after Wydad Athletic Club of Casablanca. Let's break the match down. It was a match that here in Kenya took place at 4 in the morning, so I was watching live, but sort of with one eye open and one eye closed. Um, Jose Rivero goes into this match changing just a few things. He sticks with the 4-2-3-1 formation, like Mamelodi Sundowns have done, like Esperance Tunis have done. I've been sort of speaking about it every single match, saying maybe we need a little more balance in midfield. Maybe we need a little more balance in midfield. Let's try a 4-3-3. But he decides to go with the 4-2-3-1. El Shenawi in goal, that doesn't change. Kuka comes in for Yahya Atiyatullah, who I thought played pretty well against Palmeiras, the Moroccan left back. So we bring back Ahmed Nabil Kuka, who, remember, is more of a midfielder by trade than a left back. Ahmed Ramadan comes in as a center half instead of Yasser Ibrahim. Ashraf Dari, the Moroccan center half, keeps his place. Mohamed Hani, the right back, keeps his place as well. Hamdi Fathi and Ben Ramadan as a midfield double pivot. Mahmoud Trezeguet on the left wing. Ahmed Said Zizou as a number 10. Hussein Shahat on the right wing, and Wissam Abu Ali as a striker. When I look at the squad, again, I think maybe we need more midfielders in there. For Fethi Ben Ramadan. Ben Ramadan, I think they think at Al Ahly, because maybe he's tall or something, that he's a box-to-box midfielder. And he can do that on occasion. But I see him as an 8, but in a midfield 3. I don't think he does enough defensively to merit a place in just a mere double pivot, especially when you have Hamdi Fathi beside him, who also gets up the pitch as well. So other than that, I also, when I look at that squad, I see Hussein Shahat, and I think he's done with his time at Al Ahly. I don't think that he's really performing at a very high level anymore. Then finally, the last thing is Ahmed Ramadan, Ashraf Dari. That center half pairing, when I see it, I just think that's not Al Ahly standards. Al Ahly standards, those guys, I'm not saying they're poor center halves. You can have maybe one of them next to a very good center half, or you could have them as a third center half for depth. When I think about Al Ahly defenses over the last few years, Mohamed Abdel Munaim, Rami Rabia, they're top quality. These guys, not so sure about. So anyways, Al Ahly start the match with sterile possession, continuing the trend of African clubs actually starting the match with a lot of possession. In the 15th minute, they score, and it just comes really from a slip in midfield. Porto player slips due to a slippy surface. Yeah. Hamdi Fathi picks up the ball, plays Wissam Abu Ali, and Wissam Abu Ali has a defender on him, and he has a very tight angle, but with his left foot manages to get the ball across goal and into the bottom corner. So that was, first of all, a hell of a finish. Hamdi Fathi did a good job playing the ball early, but it was a fairly obvious pass to make, but the shot and the finish itself was very, very impressive. You rarely see players score from that kind of angle. It reminded me of a goal this one was even more impressive. It's 2015 AFCON Ghana versus Algeria in the group stages. Asamoah Gyan, a 60-yard pass, beats the Algerian defender for pace, and same thing. Just that kind of tough angle where you think there's no way he can sneak that into the bottom corner. But Abu Ali did, and Asamoah Gyan did as well. In the 22nd minute, so just 7 minutes later, and this was a theme throughout the match, that Al Ahly gets the lead, Porto equalized. Al Ahly gets the lead again, Porto equalized, and it just kept going on in very quick, short bursts. In the 22nd minute, Porto equalized, and here, again, when you can't hold a lead, the conventional wisdom is you're doing it because you're mentally inexperienced. But I think this time it was not so much like mental inexperience that was plaguing Al Ahly. I think it was two things. I think number one, they were desperate to score goals, because just winning 1-0 wasn't going to be enough. They had to, especially if Inter Miami was winning, which they were for 70, 80 minutes of the other match in the group stage. They were going to have to score 3. They were going to have to win by 3 or 4 goals. 4 goals is an exaggeration, 3 goals. So there's a little bit of desperation and committing men forward. And then at the same time, the formation problems, the tactical problems. Look, in the 22nd minute, when I said that Ben Ramadan shouldn't be playing in a double pivot, Porto have the ball. They play the ball into Samuel Agahoa. And you see the player that scores the goal, I forget his name, the 18-year-old kid, Mora. Uh, when the ball is played initially, he's on this side of the double pivot. You have Ben Ramdan, Hamdi Fethi and Ben Ramdan, and he's on this side. So he's not ball side. And he just slowly drifts between the double pivot. And Ben Ramdan, like he had zero awareness. He didn't even realize that a player that he's supposed to be tracking just ran right past him. And then the ball is laid off by the striker. The striker dribbles at Mohamed Hani, and Ashraf Dari somehow sneaks through and manages to finish. But there is why I don't want Ben Ramdan in a double pivot. I would rather have a double pivot behind him. You want to put Aliou Dieng and Hamdi Fethi and then Ben Ramdan in front of them? Do that. Or if you want to put, I don't know, anybody else. I think he should be playing either you want to play a 1-2 and he's one of the eights, or you could play a 2-1 and he could be the sole eight in that formation. But so many times I see, even in this match, like he'll be standing in midfield. A player that he's marking is like 5 feet away from him, and he just doesn't step over to to make sure he's marking them, and the entry pass will be made. And it's just a simple thing where he doesn't have the defensive instincts, in my opinion, to play in that double pivot, especially again alongside somebody like Hamdi Fatih. If you wanted to put him with Aliou Dieng, who has an incredible amount of defensive instincts, that's all he really does is try to break up play and recycle it, then I could maybe understand it a little bit more. But Hamdi Fethi, as we saw in the first goal, he gets up the pitch and tries to join the attack. And that's one thing, by the way, I thought he's been really good throughout this Club World Cup. His passing range has been really good. Unfortunately, I think he was injured and he was pulled off. But it's a shame that he's just here. I think he's just here for the 2-3 weeks. I think now his time at Al Ahly is done. He might go back to his club in Qatar. So, but I thought he was really, really good. Yeah, in the 28th minute, so after this goal, I wrote, "This is the weakest Al Ahly defense I've seen in a while," and I said that earlier. But they need Abdul Munim or Rabia. Like Ashraf Dari, Ahmed Ramadan, Yasser Ibrahim is not it. Those players can be a second center half, or they can be depth pieces, but they shouldn't be, uh, your starting center half. You need that Virgil van Dijk player. Then you could throw whoever you want beside him. If you can double it up with another great center half, great. But if not, you need that one that's gonna take control. Um, yeah, in the 34th minute, so Hamdi Fethi comes off. I saw Aliou Dieng standing on the sidelines on the broadcast, and I thought, he sees what I'm seeing. He's finally we're going to switch to that 4-3-3. It's going to be Fethi, Ramadan, and Dieng in midfield, and maybe he's going to take off Hussein and Shahat. That's what I wanted. I said maybe he's going to tell Zizou to go wide. He doesn't do that. It's a like for like. He takes up Hamdi Fethi and puts in Aliou Dieng. I'm assuming it's due to injury because Fethi wasn't having a bad game. But I thought Dieng really provided a lot of good defensive balance. In the 45th minute, so just a few seconds before halftime, crucial moment to score. L'Ahly go up 2-1. And this one, it's just, honestly, I forget who, Hussein Shahat passes the ball into space. Wissam Abu Ali makes a run in behind defense. He plays a ball that's cut back into the box. Trezeguet, the left winger, he did a great job of attacking the near post, dragging his fullback with him. And Ahmed Said Zizou is the one that's the trailing midfielder at the top of the box that looked like he was going to take a shot on goal, but he gets tripped up from behind and it's a penalty shot. And really, Zizou, like Elias Mokwana, I really think that some of their biggest assets is running. Zizou obviously can take penalties, he can take free kicks, all that stuff. But just his amount of energy, his pace, how much he runs, I think that's what really separates him from other attacking midfielders. And the effort that he made to get into the box obviously paid dividends here. So Abu Ali takes the penalty kick this time. He's the designated penalty kick taker. He was supposed to take it in the first match against Inter Miami. Mahmoud Trezeguet, remember, took the ball from him and then missed. But this time, Abu Ali takes it with aplomb and we score and we're up 2-1. And it makes you think, what if he just let Abu Ali take the penalty kick in the first match, Things could have been very different. They could have had, at the time, they would have been sitting on 6 points going into the second half with a clear path to the knockout stages. And in that case, then you could focus much more on defending and not so much to committing men forward and worrying about the holes that you're leaving behind you. So at halftime, it's 2-1. And I think Al Ahly, they understand that they still need to score 2 more goals because Palmeiras, I think we're winning 1-0 at the time. But the thing is, you need to score 2 more goals, but you can't concede because if you concede, And it's just like it's gonna bring you right back to where you were. You need to advance towards that +2 goal difference mark. So yeah, it's tough, man, because only the most experienced teams, the well-oiled teams, they know how to commit men forward, but also not leave leave themselves exposed. It's a really delicate balance that you have to strike. That Al Ahly, I think, failed to strike against Porto. Um, so yeah, Porto, I think they equalized just 7, 8 minutes into the second half. I think Al Ahly committed men forward, and then they found themselves with it defending with 6-on-6. You had 6 Porto players against 6 Al Ahly players. So the ball finds its way to the left wing. Mohamed Hani is the fullback, and he's defending the left winger. And Porto have a player that makes an overlapping run, and Mohamed Hani, the fullback, sees that he doesn't have any help, and he decides to go with the overlapping player, leaving the player on the ball completely on his own at the top of the box, giving him so much space and time, and the player just a beautiful curling shot. I think his name is Gomez. Beautiful curling shot into the far corner, and you're thinking these are basics of defending. You always stop the ball, especially when it's that close proximity like that. You can't leave a player have an open shot like that. So that's probably the second goal in the game that Mohamed Hani is at fault for. And he's a very reliable, dependable right back over the last 2, 3 years. So these are uncharacteristic mistakes that he's making. Again, you would have liked to have he would have liked to have help with the overlapping player, but still, stop the ball first. Let him make the pass to the overlapping fullback. Let them cut it back. And Ahly would have been in trouble anyways. But I think there's less of a chance that they would have hurt you from that scenario than a wide open shot from 18 yards out. But to be fair to Mohamed Hani, 30 seconds later, he makes up for it. And it really here's where we get into like this crazy rhythm. I haven't seen a match like this in a very long time where it's goal, 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 goal. I think we scored 4 goals in 6 minutes or so, 3 goals in 6 minutes. Um, so 30 seconds later, just after kickoff, Ahly matriculate the ball up the pitch. Mohamed Hani makes an overlapping run of his own, and with a beautiful cross finds Wissam Abu Ali, who scores a hat trick. Good for him. I think that's his 11th goal in 9 matches. Um, I think there were rumors that Al Ahly were supposed to be selling him in January and then early in the summer. He puts in performances like that, he's going to have a lot of suitors. Um, but yeah, he's just a really, really good target striker. And I was just a little bit disappointed with him in the CAF Champions League last year in the knockout stages. I thought he could have done a little bit better. But I think he was dealing with a few injuries, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he had a hell of a game today and just really good signs heading into the new season. But 2 minutes after that, so now they're up 3-2. 2 minutes after that, Porto equalize again. And it's just from a corner kick. A corner kick that comes in. Agahoa gets it's him and Ahmed Ramadan. It's a simple man marking scheme. It's not like they're doing a hybrid zone, man. Something got lost. It's not like it was a sophisticated set piece where he was picked like in American basketball. No, it's just Ahmed Ramadan simply marking Agahoa. And he gives him, I don't know, he just loses him. Just gives him too much space. And it's a simple, good, well taken set piece. Simple cross, simple header. You cannot concede goals like that in situations like that. Like that's very, very poor defending from Ahmed Ramadan. Hence, one of the reasons why I say this is one of the weaker sides, weaker def defenses that I've seen Al Ahly line up in a very, very long time. Uh, that one of all the goals, well, there was mistakes in all of them. There was Ben Ramadan not tracking back for the first one, but whatever. The second one, Mohamed Hani, that was pretty egregious as well. Him just giving up an open shot from 18 yards out. But this one was right there, same level. Just a professional center half. I know Agaho is good in the air, but anyways. Jose Rivera makes a triple sub, bringing on Grady Shar, Ben Shirky, and Omar Kamal. I thought good subs. I thought maybe it was a little bit harsh to take off, Abu Ali on a hat trick. Maybe a little bit harsh to take off Trezeguet and Zizou as well. Or did he take off Zizou? I think he did. Uh, let me see. Yeah, Hamdi Al-Shahad, Abu Ali, Trezeguet, and yeah, Al-Shahad. So not Zizou. Um, so I thought it was a decent triple sub. Again, a little bit harsh for Abu Ali. But Ben Shelki, even against Palmeiras, I thought he was very, very good when he came on. And here as well, he gets down the wing cuts the ball back to Bin Ramdan, and this is where he excels. As you know, that eight that's gonna join, that's gonna trail into the box, like he did, like Zizou did for the penalty. He's gonna make late runs into the box. He can play little short passes around the box. He can score penalty kicks. He can score long shots. This is where he's useful. Basically, the ball pops out to him after Ben Shirki makes a run in behind defense, cuts it back, and Ben Rabban with a beautiful curling effort. It's one of those where I could watch it again and again and again because just the torque of his body getting it into the far corner with that kind of pace on it was special. And you could tell that it meant a lot for him to score this early on in his Al Ahly career in front of those fans. By the way, hats off to the fans because New Jersey, like that MetLife Stadium, looked like they were playing in Cairo, like Jose Rivero said after the match. That was really, really special. Um, then the match is like, yeah, very end to end, back to forth. I think they're getting news from the other end that Inter Miami had scored a second goal, so we need to make sure we score at least one or two more. So they're committing men forward, and Porto are committing men forward because Porto have no chance unless they win the match. So they're trying to score and they're trying to score, and it got very messy. I think the players were tired. It's the third match in 7 days or something. It's just like, and it was, yeah, very, very messy. And as they were like just desperate to score, they concede a goal at the very end. Porto pick up the ball, like similar to the second goal. Just way too much space because players are not tracking back, because they're tired, because they had committed men forward. And this time it's Pepe who just wrong foots El Shenawi. He opened up his body as if he's going to the, the far post, but he instead uses that torque to make sure he beats him near post. El Shenawi wasn't great today. He was very good in the first match, but wasn't really great today. But yeah, finishes 4-4. If this was another club, that would have been a catastrophic goal to give up. If this was Esperance or Wydad, especially because winning in this tournament guarantees you $2 million, right? Um, and so just conceding that goal, that was a $2 million goal right there, conceding it. So you almost, if you're Wydad or you're Esperance, you would say, okay, let's not even chase qualifying to the knockout stages because we can risk $2 million if we concede. But for Al Ahly, I mean, their budget is up and around, I think, if I'm not mistaken, $50 million. So $2 million is not going to make a real big dent in the financial budget. Um, but yeah, overall, I think Al Ahly will be disappointed with their participation at the Club World Cup. This will hurt Al Ahly. Because Al Ahly, you have to understand the club's mentality, the club's DNA. They won everything in Egypt. They won everything in Africa. They see themselves as the trailblazers in Africa. They wanted to be the first African club to win the Club World Cup in its previous iteration. When that's no longer possible, they want to be the ones that, they want to go to the Club World Cup and they want everybody to be like, oh, who's that? Oh, we're the best team in Africa. That's the response. That's how Al Ahly want to participate in these tournaments. And for them to probably come up against one of the easier groups for relative to the other African teams, and for them to be so inefficient in front of goal, to defend so poorly as well. um, I think they'll be very, very disappointed. To be fair to the team, like Jose Rivera said after the match, this is my third match in charge. This is just my third match and second week in charge. And I think it was obvious. I think he said, I'm still learning, I don't know the fans. I think he doesn't know some of his players as well, honestly. Um, so I think it will get better. But the question is, and that's the question when he got the job that we asked on his channel, will they be patient with him? Um, I hope they will, because we saw what he managed to do with Orlando Pirates when they were patient with him. Um, and I think they will be, but I've already seen some criticism online uh, about the way he's managed, especially the Palmeiras match, some of the tactical decisions he made in that match, and man management as well. Um, Overall, when we look at the first two teams eliminated from Africa from the Club World Cup, Wydad and Al Ahly. Hindsight is 2020, but I think what this tells us, we're taking a few shortcuts here because Wydad, to be fair, had City and Juventus in their group. But even when you look at, again, tactically, I didn't think it was very well done. The players they brought in wasn't very well done. Al Ahly didn't look like, it looked like their coach was just there for 2 weeks. Overall, the decision, I think, to change a coach and then go to the Club World Cup and to change your team too much and then go to a Club World Cup. Um, I don't think that's paid off. So could be good learning lessons, for future competition. But when you look at Sundowns and Esperance, they kept their coaches, they kept practically the same squads, and they have looked like the two better teams from Africa in this tournament rather than Al Ahly and Wydad. So yeah, we'll see how Esperance do tonight. They play against Chelsea. They need a victory. They'll be without Youssef Belali, which is very, very tough. But we'll see how they do tonight. And then also, of course, we'll see how Mamelodi Sundowns do against Fluminense. We were hoping that two African teams would make it out of the group stages. It's looking like hopefully just one will now. But yeah, keep it locked in. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you did you guys watch this match? And if you watched it, do you enjoy matches like this where it's end to end, or do you prefer when it's more of a tactical, calculating battle? For me, I think I prefer the latter. This one just seems sloppy to me. Seems almost amateurish. But anyways, let's go Esperance, and we'll speak to you all very, very soon. Peace.